Hey family, welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. I'm really glad that you guys can be joining me here today. I've been away for a little bit, just preparing some things in the background. Business is just about ready to go. It has been a process, getting everything up and running, bank accounts set up, contracts in place, and different things like that. I was I started a business back in like January, and the intent for the business was kind of to do handyman work, do different things to get me started, just to get learning in terms of the business process, and then to be able to venture off from there into other different ventures. Thought the idea was maybe getting some gig apps, but I reached out to a few companies on Indeed and was able to find an opportunity. So my particular business is like, if you order something, furniture set, play place, exercise equipment, and you decide to add the installation part of that, my business is the one that shows up. So there are different companies all across the country that have this in a number of different places. So if someone orders something and they're able to have that particular delivery fee, installation fee, I show up and I'm able to purchase that. So I picked up a few things here recently. I grabbed me a dolly, picked up some drivers, you know what I mean? But overall, just looking to grow and to expand. So I'm thinking about that process. So if you go into someone's house and they have a treadmill and they're looking to get it up the stairs, you know what I mean? Like, it might be 150 pounds, something like that. So you don't want to be carrying that thing by yourself. So picked up a few things to help to make that process a little bit easier. I learned that they were stair dollies with 3 wheels on them that help to make that particular climb a little bit easier. Yeah, so just, this weekend begins like my first weekend where it's becoming more consistent. So I had one installation. I posted a video on the channel. You can check that out. But just moving forward now, it's going to be mostly 1 or 2 different installations per week. We're off next weekend, so we're kind of traveling. So that particular one may be skipped, but after that, it's going to be mostly every weekend moving forward. Just looking to gain my skill set, learn more about the business, grow, and to start that overall process. I know a lot of people, they talked a lot about tax information, stuff like that. So not a tax professional, but for me, what I thought it would make life easier would be to have 2 different accounts, one for accounts receivable, one for accounts payable. So every dollar that comes into one account, every bill is paid out of another account, so which makes it easier for me to track and for me to give to someone in particular who is interested in doing the taxes, or is going to help to assist with that time period next year, whenever that comes about. So I give God glory because as we're sitting down, we're planning a little bit, and you're planning long term. You're like, maybe once the business grows crazy, I'll go full time. But I'm giving myself here some months, maybe a year or so, and then I want to be full-time as a particular business owner. So that's definitely going to be a process. It's going to be something that is different. So many people are telling me you need to go back to school, but when I look at it, I'm just like, what I'm looking to do, I can't get from school, so you have to get out and get into the field. So if you want to be like basketball players, you have to go where basketball players go. If you want to be a business owner, you need to do what business owners do. And at some point, you give yourself enough space, and then you have to get in 10 toes down and be able to go from there. So that's the process. That's the plan. For right now, this will be just an overall journey of tracking this. Please comment below what you think and what are your thoughts. Have you opened your own business yet? I'm going to add a comment or a video here just so you guys can see something. Eric Thomas, the famous motivational speaker, he spoke about something similar, about how when he decided to go full time, it was scary. You know what I mean? You got a wife, you got kids, you got a family. But still, if you're going to get into this, you need to be able to do it on your own. So I did the same thing. I'm looking to grow and to develop. And hopefully, by God's grace, this will all turn out exactly how I hope. I know the journey in between where we are and where we're looking to get to will not be completely simple, but for sure, we're looking to get that completed as best as possible. Thank you so much for your time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Anything additional, let me know. Thank you. Have a good day.
And we've got to teach those that work with us what hard work looks like, right? We got to show them the steps. We have to walk them through the process, and that's what Dan Gilbert did for me. He showed me what it's like to own 50-something companies. He was the first man I ever saw in my life with 3 secretaries, right? He was the first man in my life that was connected to people like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. But he taught me, E.T., you know how I started all of this? I said, know how, delivering pizzas. You worked at Olive Garden. I worked at Little Caesars, delivering pizzas. But I knew that the same energy that I gave this pizza, I knew the same work ethic that allowed me to pick up a pizza and drop it off and get tips. That same work ethic, that same mentality will one day help me to own my own companies. We have to teach them that whatever they hand find to do with, you got to do it with all your might. You got to give 120%. You got to have the right attitude. You got to have the right motives. You got to get up every single day. You can't take a day off. No days off. Why? Because there could possibly be 1 million people trying to do what you do. 1.5 million. I'm not the